So,
stars
well,
the
Simple Life, I couldn't watch the reboot of Simple Life. Did you? I mean, that to me was I started that and I was like, I'm sorry, I just
well, it's on my list of things to watch. I just watched Selling the City. I'm gonna have someone on from that who's contacted me. So I eventually get to everything. But go on. You like the
I
Baldwin so far?
freaking loved the Baldwins. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd
You
you
know
love
what?
about it?
They came off humble. They were more about Rust and Helena Hutchinson, who is sadly the director that Alec Baldwin accidentally shot. They thought they had fake bullets in it, but it was real. Uh,
Oh, we know, honey. We know about that case.
we know that story.
Mm-hmm.
They put her front and center, how she was a mother, and there's a little boy that is going to grow up and was robbed. And I thought that was
Mm-hmm.
so good.
I mean, we
I
also look, I'm not
It was
just
good.
playing. We also have cameras in front of us. I mean, I'm sure Alec Baldwin is truly bothered by this, but we do have cameras in front of us while we're doing all
He
this.
was hysterical, imitating his children. She addressed her in and out of Spanish, and she just said, "Look, I grew up with like that. Like our family was kind of funny, and we talked Spanglish, and then we wouldn't. So I just did it, and I didn't really think of it, but I was really hurt when people thought I was such a phony. I thought it was realer than I had anticipated. Again, I'm going to
Good.
watch it. We'll see 4 episodes in if it's as good as I think it is, but I was pleasantly surprised. Alex more likable in it, for sure, but she admits he's a curmudgeon, and he's so, but a lot of people feel that he is pulling a oh my God, who was Camille Grammer? Kelsey. A lot of people feel he's pulling a Kelsey Grammer, which was Kelsey Grammer
Mm.
encouraged Camille to do the reality show so he could work on divorcing her. And a lot of people feel that Alec is doing the same, but I don't think so. I think he's so grateful to her. And I think she really keeps it together. No, I thought it was compelling. I thought it was compelling. We'll see. There's a
Interesting.
lot of good reality shows out right now.
Well, listen, I'm not opposed to it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I actually like the Baldwins. I like Billy. Dirty Sexy Money, great show that was on ABC for
Mm.
a minute. Donald Sutherland, who has since passed.
Wow.
Candace Kane. But I've always liked Alec Baldwin, to be honest with you. He's a New Yorker. Speaking of reality shows, haven't watched it yet, but we have one of the greatest, I think, amongst us. You gotta give this Richards, the Richards, Denise.
I
This
think that'll
looks,
be good.
it looks so good. I haven't watched it yet, guys. It's on my list. It looks so good. It looks just so good. I think we're gonna get to
Okay.
know her family, right?
I think so too. I think that's going to be so, so good. The other thing I wanted to talk
Hmm.
about, because people have been sliding in our DMs, an update on Teddy Mellencamp, who I sit and pray for and just think about and say to myself all the time, for the grace of God, go I. And she's just in my thoughts and prayers. I could cry because she's a mom of three. It's so sad, but she did recently put on her IG story, basically, talking about friends that were coming to visit her.
Hmm.
And she said, look at this, all you need is brain cancer to get friends to
Hmm.
come and hang out with you. And I
Well,
just thought that was like heartbreaking. And she also gave the update, they found more tumors when they did the operation than they thought. People have seen the picture. She had her staples out. I just pray that she comes out of this. Like, please, God, heal her of this cancer. It's so sad. It's just really sad. What do you think? Like, she's trying to carry on real life. I mean, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna
look,
do?
I'm
But
gonna keep my thoughts to myself on this. I feel that the most important thing with a diagnosis is you give the patient and the family hope, and I think there always is hope. I do.
yeah, I do
But
too. I do too,
when,
always.
we are learning new things, but when you have cancer inside of you and I think you always want to cut it out if you can. It's cutting it out and removing it is, to me, as a non-doctor, better than treating it. One of them shrinks it and eventually, but if you can cut it out, you do. So that is what she did. That's why she was cutting her entire body and her back out because they were cutting the cancer out. Then when you cut it out, you go back and you say, did we get it all? In this case, we didn't get it all, and it has spread to the brain. So when cancer metastasizes and spreads, it is not a good thing. That is all I will say on that. Because
Well,
now we have particles that could
please
be
let
in
there be
us somewhere
hope.
else.
Please let there be hope. And please, you know, she's in Los Angeles. I hope to God that some of the best science, some of the best trials are here, some of the best. They've made incredible advances in cancer. So I'm praying, praying, praying they have solutions and things for her. Um, she's
Cedar
out, I think her
Sinai,
daughter. y-
Cedar Sinai's or Sloan Memorial Sloan Kettering here in New York. Those are the two guys. I would head to one of those.
Well, hopefully she is getting so many options. She was out at her daughter was riding. So hopefully she's like, there is hope and pray, pray, pray. So anyhow, we are thinking of you, Teddy, Teddy, Teddy. Have we got time for one more? You want to do one more quick? What do you want to
I
do?
have time for hours more.
Okay, well, I don't. I've got time for one more. Sorry. I got a bunch
Um,
of things to
I,
do.
well, anything happening, I don't know if you want to talk about this. I don't even know if this is so quick. What's going on with Bologna as this guy called him, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively? Anything interesting?
Yes, a big one. And this is going to be fascinating to see what happens next. She just hired Nick Shapiro. Nobody knows that name, but Nick Shapiro
Nobody.
did crisis management for the CIA and was President Obama's crisis manager through the Boston Marathon bombings, through Sandy Hook, through some major things. She has just brought him on her team. Okay, now this is very fascinating because Michael Gottlieb, her attorney from Washington, D.C., he's also a crisis management person. So why
Uh,
what does this mean? Why do we need somebody who's considered probably the best in the world? And I think this means I think this means they're trying to use him. I think Nick Shapiro is figuring out how they settle. Now, that's my opinion. Okay, I Brian Friedman says, "How are you going to settle after you've accused a man of sexual harassment who is innocent?" Well, a public apology and a big check usually does it. You know, we are sorry. We've come to this. I mean, Kesha and Dr. Luke sort of came to this mutual apology that they both posted where he wasn't really found guilty, but he wasn't found innocent. Kesha's going to move on with her life.
did he give any money?
I don't know if Dr. Luke wrote her a check or not.
He
I
also
think
doesn't have like,
so.
a $400 million, does he?
No, but you know, I think that Nick Shapiro has been brought in to figure out how can they exit from this because this is really
I
now
think
about
you're
saving
right.
Ryan Reynolds' career. It's about saving Ryan Reynolds' career and it's about where is Taylor Swift? Like people have said, Taylor Swift was sexually harassed herself, if people recall. A DJ several years ago put his hand up her skirt when she was at a radio station. She sued him. Then he tried to sue her for defamation. She won. She beat him. All she wanted was $1 because all she wanted was that he was guilty, and he was guilty of doing it. Not only that, Kesha Taylor wrote Kesha a check to help support her sexual harassment case against Dr. Luke and donated
Ooh.
money to women who have been sexually harassed in workplaces. So where is she with Blake Lively?
Hmm.
Nick, I think
She's nowhere to be found.
Okay. Well, Nick, I think, is here to figure out how do we save Taylor Swift, Ryan Reynolds, right? Because it's over for Lively. You know, now, do I think she'll work again? Sure. I think people will work with anyone. I mean, I think didn't Bill Cosby do a tour after he got out of jail? Like Roseanne Barr, people like she still will have work. But this is about Ryan Reynolds continuing to be a monster movie star, you know, that people love and adore and all that stuff. So I think Nick is there. Now,
And is his career over, Ryan Reynolds? I mean,
no,
is the Deadpool over, or is that still happening?
still happening. I mean, some content creators have already started posting that they are starting to see on their videos where everyone used to trash Lively. All of a sudden, people are like in Blake Lively's defense, in Ryan Reynolds' defense. So a lot of people think Nick is already, now this is alleged, there is no proof, that Nick is already launching bots onto people's creators that are talking about them to get positive